Hey planner friends! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm planning from the 1st to the 7th of May in my Hemlock Oak weekly. Let's get started! So the kit that I'm using this week is Strawberry from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code in the description to save yourselves a little bit of money and also mention me for a freebie. Sorry if there's a little bit of background noise in this video. I'm going to try and minimise it as much as possible, but it has been chucking it down all morning, and so the roads are quite wet outside and the cars are making a lot of noise when they're driving over it. As I mentioned in my May monthly, I'm using pastel pink as my theme colour for all of May, so I have this pastel pink Sharpie S-Note which I've used to highlight over the week that we're in the mini calendar in the top left hand corner. This kit has a lot of baby pink in it, but it also has this really cute mint green which I think goes with the pink really well, because you know, pink goes good with green. Unfortunately, a lot of what I'm going to pre-plan in this video kind of went straight out of the window because on Tuesday I started feeling a migraine coming on, so Wednesday, Thursday and Friday I was off work because I just felt horrendous. Well, I felt better by Friday, but I still had like a lot of brain fog going on, so I didn't think I'd be any use in work. So while I've been talking, I've been getting started with the base of my spread. As you can see, I've set up my sidebar as I usually do with a squared off half box for my focus for the week, a decorative box from the kit, a habit tracker, a Monday to Sunday tracker to mark off all of my meals for the week, and then a 3-heart checklist at the bottom for any tasks that I have overarching for the week rather than on a specific day. So this sidebar is really working for me at the moment. I tend not to have more than like 2 or 3 tasks that are overarching for the week, so that little 3-heart checklist at the bottom is perfect, and then the Monday to Sunday box has always been my go-to for marking in my meals for the week. So I forgot to add in my date dots for the longest time in this spread. I think I add them in just before I actually start doing my plans for the week, but I've added all of my date covers along the top, so I trimmed like 1 millimeter off the side of each of these so that I can have that tiny piece of white space between each date cover, and then I've added glitter headers from Monday to Friday, and then for the weekend banner I've just cut the 2 flags off either side of the word weekend because otherwise it doesn't fit, and layered that over one of the 15mm strips from the kit. I've then cut the other 15mm strip from the kit in half to create a divide between my vertical planning section and my reflection section along the bottom, and then we can add in all of my decorative boxes for the week. As I mentioned in my last weekly plan with me, I'm not so worried about trimming things on my planner anymore because my craft knife isn't super sharp from being a brand new blade, so I'm trimming these boxes both vertically and horizontally on my planner. As always, the locations of these boxes are already decided before I start laying down this spread, as I set up my entire week on iCal so that I can copy it from the screen in front of me into my planner while I'm setting it up. Otherwise I would definitely forget stuff. I say that like I didn't forget stuff for this spread, I definitely forgot stuff for this spread. Like on Thursday we had local elections in the UK and I nearly completely forgot. Thankfully Kat from Peace Love Plan mentioned it in her story, so I didn't completely forget and we did get to go and vote. Oh, and that meant that it was Reggie's first time voting as well, and as I mentioned in my Insta story, he did vote for more treats. Because I was ill this week and had to move a lot of stuff around in my planner, I was again very appreciative of the fact that I used mostly removable stickers. Some of my character stickers that I used did require a little bit of undo to wiggle them around, and you'll see that there's a big difference between the final pre-planning spread and the final spread at the end of the week. But once I've got my final decorative box down, I'm then going to remember to add in all of my date dots because I completely forgot to begin with, and then we can get into my actual plans for the week. As usual, I'm using the dates version 2 from Plannerface for all of my weekly date dots at the moment. So zooming in and starting on Monday, I'm first marking that this was the May Day bank holiday using a fancy label from the kit with a little paper shy spring doodle and an early May bank holiday day script from Tilly Journals. I'm then going to mark in editing and recording the voiceover for my May monthly with a 3rd box and some deco from the kit and an edit script from Plannerface. I'm really glad that I got this voiceover done before I started feeling horrendous, but I do feel like I was a little bit like monotone in it because I was starting to feel a bit rubbish. But at this point on Monday, I thought I was just a little bit hungover from having some drinks the night before, not that I had an incoming migraine that was going to ruin my entire week. Not to be too dramatic about it though. For my to-do list on Monday, I'm using a blob of my May theme colour with the laundry doodle from the kit, and then I'm marking in going to team training in the afternoon using a half box from the kit with a Coffee Monsters co-emoji. This was supposed to be a max out session and then I would just have a chill deload week for the rest of the week, but it didn't exactly go to plan. I'm happy with how I did, but it wasn't what I wanted. Moving on to Tuesday, I was working from home, so I've added a work from home script from Plannerface over the glitter header, and then I'm using a fancy label with the phone doodle from the kit to mark in a workshop that we had at work this day. And then marking in my second weight session of the week, which was just going to be an accessory day with a Pinky Stickers printable, and all of my work checklists for this week are using these Papershire office doodles. For my afternoon to-do list, I'm using a Papershire Vanilla who's cleaning the toilet to mark in my checklist, and then I'm just going to mark in the end of work on Wednesday and Thursday with a wiggly line with my Sharpie S note. Not that I needed to bother because I didn't go to work for the rest of the week. The first thing that I'm marking on Wednesday using a quarter box and the laptop doodle from the kit is a national meeting that I was supposed to go to. Thankfully, one of my work colleagues covered for me, and then I'm just going to add in my to-do list for the day. On Wednesday evening, I plan to do a little bit of yoga, and then I'm using the skinny event label with a YouTube button icon from Ickle & Co and an upload script from Plannerface to mark in my May monthly video going up. I'm then finishing off Wednesday with another checklist for the evening, this time using a bit of deco from the kit, and then we can move on to Thursday where I was supposed to be working from home again, so I've added in another work from home script, and then I was going to be doing another weight session this day, which I'm using another Pinky Stickers printable for. I actually did manage to do that weight session. It wasn't the best weight session I've ever done, but I had like a little break in the migraine and was like, I'm going to make the most of this. For Thursday evening, I've marked in my to-do list using a recycling icon from Plannerface, and then I'm just using a quarter box and a bathtub doodle also from Plannerface to mark in having a little bit of me time in the evening. Recently I've been trying to schedule making sure I have some me time, like for a bath or some other kind of fluffy self-care. So yeah, that's what that is. We can then move on to Friday. I was supposed to be duty scientist this day, so I'm using an event label and a scientist doodle from Coffee Monsters Co. to mark that in. I did not end up going into work on Friday, mostly because I figured I felt okay being at home, but if I tried to go into work and I was in the office and I was like being duty scientist, I just would not be able to deal with that day. So I didn't, and I also missed this quality meeting that I'm marking in with a quarter box and the coffee cup doodle from the kit. I can then add in my last work checklist and also my to-do list for Friday evening, which I'm marking in using this little wallet doodle from Plannerface. Moving on to Saturday, I'm first marking in going to team training using 2 half boxes laid over the top of each other with another Coffee Monsters Co. emoji. This basically just takes up a really good chunk of the day, just like team training does, and then I'm using a third box with a bit of deco and an edit script from Plannerface to mark in editing and recording this voiceover. Once I get back from team training, I'm going to be doing my planning time for the day, so I'm using a flag with the planner doodle from the kit and a planning script from Plannerface to mark that in. And then I'm going to add in my to-do list for Saturday using a bit of deco from the kit. I'm then going to mark in whatever we get up to on Saturday evening using a square box from the kit with a load of deco, and that's probably just going to be, continuing to avoid the news or any current events that are going on today because I really don't care about them and I'm fed up of hearing about it. Moving on to Sunday, I'm marking in my checklist for the day using the vacuum doodle from the kit, and then I'm marking in uploading this video using another skinny event label with a YouTube button icon from Ickle & Co and an upload script from Plannerface. I'm then going to mark in my last weight session of the week, which is going to be another accessory session because the one on Tuesday was making up for the one that I didn't do last week. And then I'm just adding in all of the dots to all of my checklists, and then we can go back in and fill in all of my plans as usual using my Pilot Friction pen. So yeah, this week hasn't been the best. I've had my migraines under control pretty well for the past couple of months, so getting absolutely sideswiped by one for seemingly no reason is really frustrating. I think looking back on it now, I did do a little bit too much crunching for getting my portfolio stuff handed in for the end of last week, and then this week I've just ended up having all of that stress hit me like a ton of bricks, I guess. I've always tried to use my planner as a way to pace myself and to not spread myself too thinly over all of the things that I want to do, but yeah, I think the last couple of weeks I've just been crunching a little bit too much, so something had to give, and apparently it was my control over my migraine issues. My training session on Monday, as I already mentioned, didn't quite go as I wanted. I'm not unhappy with how I performed in that max out session, but it just wasn't the numbers that I wanted. And I have to keep telling myself that not every session is going to be the best. And also, if my next competition was next week and that was my max out session prior to that competition, I would still probably be opening with the numbers that I missed back in February. The fact that there was an impending migraine attack though kind of softens the blow a little bit. After that max out session, I was pretty happy to have a bit more of a deload week because my competition prep for my next comp starts next week. So my focus for this week was that I wanted to relax and recharge after having got all of my portfolio stuff done last week and having like a really busy couple of weeks. And I definitely relaxed, maybe not so much recharged, but my body definitely told me that it was time to relax and recharge rather than me having any say in it whatsoever. So if there is a silver lining to this migraine, at least I managed to hit my weekly focus really well. But that is it for my pre-planning. Let's take a look at my very different finished spread. So here's the spread all filled out, and I think you can kind of gauge how I was feeling about this migraine by all of the swearing vanillas that I used to mark it in, because I was just super frustrated. I'm still really happy with how the spread turned out, but I'm just annoyed that this kit was used for such a kind of rubbish week, because I really like the art in it and the colours are really cute as well. At least a kind of crappy week can still look pretty in my planner, I guess. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!